Saliana, and as we've been mentioning, the bridge has been closed indefinitely, so drivers are going to have to find another way downtown.
Yeah, Dr. Adil El-Softy is an associate professor of civil engineering at the University of North Florida. He's in our studios tonight, and thanks for being here, Dr. Softy. What has happened to the structural integrity of that bridge after being hit by such a large piece of metal?
It is really alarming whenever we see this kind of lateral hit by a big mass to a very vulnerable superstructure. It is very alarming. So we as designers for bridges, we usually design the bridge for sustaining live load and dead load and any lateral hit to the pier or the supporting system. But to hit the superstructure, which is this truss element, it is alarming and it requires a lot of inspections.
All right, is there any way that we can get a close-up of the damage of the Mathews Bridge real quickly? Dr. El-Softy, I want you to take a good look at this, and we've seen that kind of a big V-shaped chunk is missing. There are wires hanging down. What does this look like to you from an engineering standpoint?
Yeah, we have to look at the structural system first, and the structural system for this kind of bridge is called cantilever bridge, which is basically consisting of two parts, which is interconnected, these two parts, one from the right, one from the left, and then there's this little middle piece that is supported, and this is the one that's been hit. So we have an integral part which is really rigid to the right, another one to the left, but the middle piece that was hit, this supported on both sides. So this is a typical cantilever truss, and the core that is at the bottom is usually
subject to axial force.
So when you are missing this main cord, it is warranting stopping of traffic, stopping of any loading, till thorough investigation will be conducted, that's for sure. And basically, whenever we are designing this kind of bridges, we have to have this navigation channels, marked navigation channels, we have to have fender system, we have to have protective island. This is to protect the pier. But for the span itself to be hit in that manner, that will have a thorough investigation. And not necessarily warrant replacing. It can be repaired based on going through the design process and going through the repair process and the options that we have.
So, Dr. Softy, as we wrap this up, and can you tell us how long do you estimate it's going to take to make the repair so that people can start traveling that bridge again?
Sure. In order for us to do the repair, we have to do the investigation first. So the structural engineer with the Department of Transportation, they're going to do a very thorough investigation to go through the design itself for that bridge that was built, like, let's say, in the 50s. And we see this kind of cantilever bridge. So we collect the data from the design. We collect the data from any previous repair that was done. We collect the data from any kind of previous damage that was done to the bridge, and then assess this structure defects and see how it's spreading and the extent of damage. Did it go to the surrounding spans, or it's just concentrated in that part? Then we conduct the bridge. So I think it's in a few months. Wow. It can be done. Okay. If there is an urgent need to do that, you can replace that middle part, and then you can have another piece that is erected, lifted, and put in place to replace it. So it can be weeks if necessary.
All right, Dr. Adil Softy from the University of North Florida, thanks so much for giving us your perspective on this major inconvenience.
My pleasure, thank you.
And we have continuing coverage of the Mathews Bridge closure. Just go to actionnewsjax.com to see more images of the damage.